guys, and welcome back to the FFF HQ. If you watched last week's great dairy-free milk taste test, which is linked above, you probably saw that I had a little bit of a crazy voice going on because I have been sick for a good week and a half. So had my husband. We had this crazy fever. So while this crazy fever situation was happening, I did a whole lot of Googling to figure out how to not get sick. I found a whole bunch of things, I tried a whole bunch of things, and here I am better. So I figured I would share 7 natural tips and ways to not get sick. So step number 1 is to eat leafy green vegetables. I know you probably don't want to hear that, but it really does help. Studies have shown that eating cruciferous green vegetables boosts protein synthesis in the cells that help support our immune system, which is what helps us to not get sick. So you can put your spinach or avocado or any other green vegetables in a smoothie. And I love these green smoothies by Smoothie Box because they're pre-made and I'm lazy and I just put it right into the blender with some collagen, some water, blend it up, ready to go. This one has organic chopped spinach, organic avocado, organic pineapple, collagen, organic lemon juice, organic pineapple juice, water, ginger, dates, flax seeds, and sea salt. So you just kind of blend it up, ready to go, and you'll be feeling great once you get your green smoothie on. Tip number 2 is to get your vitamin D. We sometimes call this the happy vitamin because it's a vitamin that we get from the sun. So a lot of us probably don't see the sun, especially if you live in the Pacific Northwest like I used to when it rains all the time. So one thing that I've used is this little happy light. I'm gonna turn it on, it's gonna be a little bit bright. But it actually mimics the sun on your skin. So if you sit in front of it for a good half an hour to an hour a day, you get kind of that vitamin D fix, I guess. Plus, I've also found that it helps me sleep better because it kind of helps with your circadian rhythms as well. We'll do another video on that later. Another way to get your vitamin D is to eat foods that include that. So that's going to be things like egg yolks, like beef liver, which most of us are probably not going to eat, canned tuna, canned salmon, all those kinds of things. Include those in your regular diet and you'll get your vitamin D. And the third way is, of course, from supplementation. You're going to want to pick supplementation that has vitamin D3 in it because it's better at raising your blood levels of vitamin D to keep you feeling good. So step number 3 is to get more sleep. I'm sure you've been told this, we all have, and most of us don't get enough sleep. When we sleep, that's when our body's going to do all the repairing to the body, so any workouts we've done that day or anything else that we've done to it. And it's also when we're going to build our immune system and fight off any viruses that have come into our body during that day. So we want to get at least 8 hours of sleep at night, which I know is not realistic for everyone, but if you can, it's really important. Because studies have shown that getting even 7 hours or less is going to make you 3% more susceptible to viruses. The second part of sleep is that when we sleep for an extended period of time, our body releases these little things called cytokines. So these cytokines are a protein that help fight off viruses and also build our immune system. So when we're not sleeping, we're not making them, and therefore we're not able to build our immune system and fight off our viruses. So listen to Little Bunny and get your sleep. So tip number 3 is to just stop stressing out. I know that's way easier said than done in our society. We're always on the go, we're always busy, and we're always working, and it feels like our life is just a constant ball of stress. But when we're stressed out, our body releases this hormone called cortisol. Cortisol helps us fight inflammation in our body and also diseases. So when we're constantly stressed out and constantly releasing cortisol, it really lessens the effect of cortisol, so we're not able to really fight that inflammation and that disease and help fight those viruses. Plus, cortisol can keep us awake at night if we're releasing it too close to bedtime because it has a negative effect on melatonin, which is something that helps us sleep. So if we're also releasing a lot of cortisol because we're stressed all day, not only is our immune system compromised because of that release, we're also not able to sleep as well, which goes back to that point we just had where we're supposed to sleep to help fight viruses. It's kind of a lose-lose situation. So 2 ways I'm going to share that I use to kind of get less stress when I'm feeling like the stress is just going crazy in my life. So one is to try legs up the wall, which you're probably like, what the heck is legs up the wall? Legs up the wall is a yoga pose that has a fancy yoga name, but I actually don't know what it is. It's literally what it sounds like. You sit on the floor on your bed with your legs up the headboard. This actually puts the blood flowing down from your feet to your head and really helps de-stress. I don't particularly know why, but it's helped me, and I find I sleep a lot better and just feel a whole lot less stressed when I do this legs up the wall for a good 5 or 10 minutes. And number 2 is to practice 4-7-8 breathing. So what you're going to do is you're going to inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. So for 4 seconds, and then hold that for 7 seconds. I'm not going to show you how to do that because I'm sure you can all do that. You don't want to watch me standing here holding my breath for 7 seconds. And then you're going to release it through your mouth for 8 seconds. You want to do 5 cycles of this, and I promise you, you will feel a whole lot less stressed. I love to do that right before bed, and I sleep like a baby. Tip number 5 is something I'm hoping that we are all already nailing down, and that is to practice good hygiene. So shower every day, bathe every day, wash your hands, don't blow your nose on your hands, use your elbow. All those kinds of good things are just going to help prevent the spread of viruses and germs and prevent us from getting sick. Tip number 6 is to take your elderberry syrup. So elderberries are a fruit, they are from the berry family, and they've been used to fight disease and virus and flu for a long time, because studies have shown that people who take elderberry have a higher level of antibodies, or the things that fight viruses and the flu. So elderberries work because they have a protein that penetrates the cell membrane of a virus and prevents it from replicating. When it replicates, that's when your virus spreads and you get sick and you give it to people and it's just a whole lot of no good. But if we've taken our elderberry before we get sick, we're going to prevent those cells from even starting to replicate, therefore not making us sick. And if we start to take it when we kind of feel sick, we're still going to prevent the cells from replicating, so we're not going to get as sick because it's not going to spread and it's not going to get worse. So for dosage of your elderberry syrup, to prevent getting sick, you want to take a half a tablespoon to a tablespoon a day, and that's for adults. But if you do get sick, you're going to want to take that half a tablespoon to a tablespoon a day for adults every 2 to 3 hours until you're starting to feel like you're on the mend. And here we are at our last tip, number 7. So the number 7 tip is to drink fire cider. You've probably heard of drinking apple cider vinegar, but have you heard of fire cider? So fire cider is an apple cider vinegar tonic that also has honey, oranges, lemon, onions, ginger, horseradish, garlic, turmeric, pepper, and black pepper. So the main reason that this works is because of the horseradish, which is a powerhouse ingredient that has antimicrobial properties, so it's going to help fight any viruses or diseases that are in your body. So the other ingredients like onion, which is an antioxidant, ginger, which is very warming, and turmeric, which is anti-inflammatory, play really well with that horseradish and make this a really powerful thing for fighting inflammation. And when you're sick, that's kind of why you get sick, is because it creates inflammation in your body. So the fire cider is going to bring that down and prevent that. So what I found that works the best for me in order to prevent sickness is to take 1 tablespoon of fire cider in the morning. I will also tell you it wakes you up because you get that onion and that ginger and that garlic and that turmeric, so you're ready to hit the day. But if you do fall sick, kind of like the elderberry syrup, I take 1 tablespoon like 3 times a day, so morning, afternoon, and night, just to really kick that virus to the curb. And then once you're starting to feel better, you can do that as 1 tablespoon in the morning and then 1 at night. And then once you're healed, we can go right on back to 1 tablespoon a day. And there you have it, 7 natural ways to not get sick, or to shorten your sickness and make it a little bit less bad if you do fall sick. So what other how-to videos or things do you guys want to learn? I love if you leave a comment below and let me know. I'd also love to hear if you found this helpful or what you learned from the video. And I would also super appreciate a like and a thumbs up of the video. And make sure you hit that subscribe button because I'm delivering how-tos, product reviews, and recipes to you every single week. So go try all these tips and make sure you don't get sick, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.